Alright, so last night was the real opening day of the NBA season. So many things happened. I am only one person. No, I did not watch every single game, but I watched a couple and I seen a couple stat lines. I'm not gonna, take too much from the games I didn't watch, but I do want to point out some things that really piqued my interest, good and bad, and we'll alternate on those things. Starting with a positive in a game I absolutely did watch, the Spurs versus the Mavericks. I don't think I need to say much. I think I didn't really have any doubts about Wemby's emergence. This is who Wemby was last year. But going into this year, people were saying maybe Wemby's going to be a top 5 player. I think he might already be there. I really think he might already be there. I think he might already be a better player than someone like Anthony Edwards, someone like Jalen Brunson, right? These are the guys that are like 5, 6, 7, 8 range. And then what Wemby did in this game, Wemby only took 2 3-pointers. Last year, Wemby did not have a single game where he took only 2 3-pointers. So he's clearly on a mission, and it's absolutely crazy that he already has that respect as a shooter based on the way he was just chucking threes last year and taking one-footed logo threes. Like, he already has so much respect from there that it's only gonna be easier and easier for him to get where he wants to get. And I'm not saying this is true in this moment. I don't want to overreact to one game, even though it's not one game, right? He did this last year. But I think midway through this season, we might be talking about who's better, Wemby or Giannis, who's better, Wemby or Luka. And yeah, we kind of thought we were headed there, but we might be there pretty soon. So that, of course, stood out to me. Dylan Harper looked good. Stephon Castle looked good. How does Fox come back to this team? But it just might not matter. They might just rack up wins because Wemby is that good. On the other side, I don't know what Jason Kidd is doing. I don't understand having D'Lo come off the bench. That is what it is. But what really stood out to me negatively was I thought Anthony Davis looked really bad. Physically, he looked really bad, and it looked like he didn't really have any breaks, People say that a lot. When you get older, it's not about getting slower or less athletic. It's about the breaks and not being able to control your body and decelerate. Anthony Davis looked out of control most of the night, 7 for 22, 22 points, 13 boards. AD is going to do that, but 7 for 22. And the lack of playmaking on this team really stood out. AD and Cooper Flag combined for 1 assist, 2 guys that are your main players, really your 2 best players, combined for 1 assist. D'Lo comes off the bench and plays poorly, 1 for 6 from the field, only 15 minutes. I don't really know what we're doing there. I think having D'Lo on the court would make AD better. I think it would make Cooper Flag's job a lot easier as a connecting piece instead of a primary ball handler. I think it would make Klay Thompson's job easier having a true point guard in there like D'Lo. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm a lot lower on this team after game 1 just because I didn't like how AD looks out there moving. But let's keep it moving. We're not overreacting too much, just telling you guys what I seen in this game 1 for all these teams. And I did not like what I seen from Dallas in general. I definitely did not like what I seen from AD. Derek Lively, 5 fouls in 10 minutes. Just some things that didn't look good with this team. Moving on to another game I did watch majority of, Knicks versus Cavs. And what really stood out to me positively in this game for the Knicks was how Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby were much more involved in the offense. Now, Brunson had a bad game, efficiency-wise. Cat didn't really have a big game, so those guys were required to do more, I guess, in this game. But I just feel like they were empowered to do more off the dribble than they were when Thibodeau was there. Like, it just is what it is. Their offense, Tibbs' offense is always give the ball to the point guard, and I think that can only take you so far, and Brunson has done an amazing job at taking them very far doing that. Brunson is amazing. But they need those other 2 guys to be more empowered in the offense. Obviously, there was no Josh Hart, but that really stood out to me, especially in the first quarter. I felt like Mikal Bridges had the ball a lot in his hands. 6 assists for Mikal Bridges. Again, I don't know what that looks like when Josh Hart comes back. I don't think Mikal gets 6 assists if Josh Hart is playing. So I don't know. But that in general is a positive for the Knicks building to a championship level team. Mikal and OG being comfortable and more enabled to do things off the dribble. Another negative in the game I did not watch, so if I say something wrong, you guys let me know if you watched this game. But again, like I said in my last video, at this point in the year, so much of what we're talking about and what we're watching for is our confirmation bias. And in my Eastern Conference standings predictions, I said I had the Pistons as a 5 seed, but I also said I'm a little bit worried for them having a, regression type of year, or maybe even a stagnant type of year. When you look at this team, Malik Beasley was such a big part of their team. Dennis Schroeder was such a big part of their team down the stretch. Tim Hardaway Jr. was on the team, played a big role on the team. Now when you look at it, who's their second, not their second best player, but their second guy to go get a bucket? It's Tobias Harris. That's really their second scorer. And even though Cade scores a lot, I don't think Cade is someone we would consider like go get a bucket type guy. I'm sure he can get a bucket, right? But he's not, I don't think, one of the 15 players you would name to say, go get me a bucket. And we all make the mistake or assumption that, progression is linear. So we're expecting Ron Holland to keep getting better. We're expecting Asar Thompson to keep getting better. And those two guys did actually play well. Thing is, they don't really provide what we're actually talking about. And you look at this roster on a night-to-night basis, they are relying on Tobias Harris and Duncan Robinson to score a lot. Tobias Harris is their second bucket getter. Like, I don't even know why. Probably because Cade is awesome, but just looking at the team, looking at the roster, it's like, why did I think this team was going to be so good? Again, maybe an overreaction. Maybe Ron Holland and Asar Thompson do more scoring the ball, but it looks like a lot on Cade on this team. Karis LeVert maybe has a couple big games, but they need another scorer. Like, simply, they need another scorer. Something else that stood out to me in a game I didn't really watch but had it on here and there, the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. And we'll focus on the Grizzlies pretty soon at another time, because I actually really want to, pay attention to what's going on there. But Zion Williamson and his defense, and I keep saying it because I feel like it's very important to the next chapter of Zion, whether that's with the Pelicans or somewhere else. Him being an impact defender changes so much. It makes his, warts or deficiencies in his game not be such a big negative if he's providing something else on that side of the court as well. Historically, Zion has been a 6'6" power forward that can't shoot, that has been terrible on defense, that needs the ball in his hands. That's not a very good, he's a very good player, but that's not a very portable thing. That's not a situation where you just plop Zion here and he can fit with any team, right? And I'm not saying it would be that now, but if he's providing that level of impact defensively, it's easier to build around. And Zion in the preseason Zion had 5 steals in this Grizzlies game. In the preseason, in the game against the Rockets, he had 4 steals in 23 minutes, and it seems like he is flying all over the court defensively. He is in the passing lanes. He's still making, mistakes defensively. I still wouldn't say he's this sound, good defender, but creating those extra opportunities and then Zion getting the ball on the break, there's a lot of value in that. And I'm just wondering, are we going to see Zion consistently be doing this all year, making plays on the defensive side of the ball? Another negative of the night for me, I told you guys this 2 times recently, I am on Bam Adebayo watch, because I feel like his Miami Heat tenure might be coming to an end kind of soon. That's just how I feel. But in this game against the Magic, he starts off 2 for 3, and then the rest of the game, he is 2 for 10 from the field. Now let's not be unfair here, because he took 5 threes, only made 1 of them. But we wanted him to take threes, right? He's doing that. He took 7 free throws. Better, right? We want Bam to get to the line. 12 boards, cool. 2 assists, 4 turnovers. Like, I'm not saying, like, we know Bam's a good player. But it just feels like, what are we doing? Like, so much running through Bam. He's not that guy offensively. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to keep seeing inefficient nights from him. And for someone that's so athletically gifted, he plays so slow. And now we got to watch the Norman Powell offense. I'm just so out on this Miami Heat team, even though I believe they're a very talented team. Like, they got a lot of good players, but it's centered around Bam. And I think this is going to be over pretty soon. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But those are my main takeaways from games I actually watched some of. Obviously, what VJ Edgecombe did is crazy. Your rookie debut to do that is amazing. I don't want to talk about what Joel Embiid did. Hopefully, it gets better from there. But obviously, yeah, VJ and Tyrese Maxey, if you're a Sixers fan, it's kind of a bittersweet moment because of what Joel Embiid was doing. But they should be very, very happy about where that's going. Quick shout out to DeMar DeRozan. I know they lost, but like DeMar DeRozan is still DeMar DeRozan. Now he did uncharacteristically miss 5 free throws in this game, and the Kings lost by 4 points, so that happened. But he was a +9 in the game, and he had 29 points, 6 boards, 9 assists, 12 of 17 from the field. Like, the fact that this guy is still doing it, it's underappreciated. This guy's gonna end up being a top 11, top 12 scorer in NBA history. So just wanted to give another shout out to DeMar DeRozan. Anything else I want to mention real quick before we get out of here? Oh, in this same game, Dillon Brooks took 24 shots. That's crazy. Obviously no Jalen Green, but he took 24 shots. You know what's funny about that? If Kevin Durant was there, he probably would have took 16, 17. He probably would have went a smooth 11 for 16. Very efficient. But I know a lot more happened, but we can wait and see how these things play out. I just wanted to give you guys my initial reactions to what caught my eye on the real opening day of the NBA season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. It will mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.